watching the Go Crying to Walk In podcast. I'm Chef Cholo, and you already know. Today's a very special day. We have an individual that has made many people crying to walk in. He's not going to want to admit it, or he might want to admit it, but he's made many people crying to walk in. It's a dear friend of mine, one of the best sous chefs, and now one of the best chefs on Long Island. One of the best sous chefs to myself, and now one of the best chefs on Long Island. I want to introduce Nick Travato, Nicky Balls.
Yeah,
brother,
right on,
what's
man.
up,
Yo,
my man?
How you doing, man?
How we doing, all right?
Pleasure, brother, pleasure,
It's
man.
all good?
Oh, yeah, you know.
It's
doing
all
what
good?
We do. We love it, man, doing what we do.
How many years now, brother? 20?
Oh, my God, yeah, man. It's got to be
20
like
years.
2000, I think. Yeah, so a little over. Yeah,
Right
2022, man, yeah. Long time.
So I was working in Manhattan for a while, and I came back out to Long Island. I was at this Italian restaurant trying to find my way, and these guys that own the Vanderbilt, they just bought it. They were like radio guys. They were like wanted to get into the restaurant business. I met them through a friend. They came to my restaurant. They did a tasting. They're like, we want you to be the guy. I came in. I met the GM. Stevie, if you remember from an earlier podcast
Stevie
we did
Square,
over that,
yeah.
Stevie.
Yeah.
And then they say, your sous, we got a sous chef for you. They had a chef before me, not a good guy, huh,
No,
Nick?
definitely. I'm
Not
Barry.
Bagel store guy.
Bagel store Barry, yep.
Bagel store Barry. Almost ruined the whole place in like a month.
Sure did.
I told Jed that's what happens when you get the guy $10,000 a year less.
Sure.
Maybe
That's it.
$15,000. I'm not sure what it
Yep,
was, but it
yep.
was definitely less. So I come in, they say to me, they don't even say Nick Travato. They say, we got the sous chef we got to keep. And now I'm not like that. You know me.
Sure.
I don't want anybody's things. I need to have everything my way. And then I treated Stevie pretty bad, and I admitted to that on the podcast that day. I was very nasty to him. But I pull up to the Vanderbilt. Now, I'm a guy that always gets to work early. If it's going to be 9 o'clock, I'm there at 8:30. I want to get there before all the men. I always want to be there. So it's my first day, and it's a big week. We have the Bolai Awards that week,
right.
which is going to be a tremendous event. And was almost pulled out because of Barry, but T. Walker Lloyd, God rest his soul. I don't know if he's dead. I'm not sure he's dead. I'm just going to say God rest his soul because I don't know if he's around anymore. He worked for Rolex. Guy had teeth like Jaws. Anyway. They say I'm going to get Nicky Ball. So I pull up in front of the Vanderbilt, and there he is, standing out in front of his truck. It was a truck, right?
Yeah.
What truck was that?
It was a maroon, like Pathfinder.
A maroon Pathfinder. He's standing there with a cigarette. Because Nicky Balls can do it, but I think you take him out of the pack, they're lit already.
Lit up already.
Anyway, they don't even need matches. It's like a magic trick. So he's standing there, chef! I'm here. I'm ready to go. I'm like, maybe this is the right guy. Yep. Maybe they were right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was wrong. So we work our first week. We do that thing. We do the bowl light thing. Huge success. Now, I don't know if you remember. As soon as we start working now, Jed, who's the owner, he has one of those houses. You remember? In the Hamptons?
Yep, absolutely.
Him and his friends. They get like the big house. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're going to hang out.
House, yeah.
The big Hamptons house.
The rich kids.
Rich kids. So he tells me, at the time, he's the president of Big Brothers Big Sisters, which is obviously a prestigious organization. Sure. Much higher level than me and yourself, right, Chef?
Yep, absolutely.
So he tells me that, we're going to do an event, and he says, well, you could do whatever you want at this event. And I say to Nick, I go, Nick, I always wanted to do a fucking New England clam bake. I always wanted to go do it. It's like, I don't care. We'll do whatever you want. Yeah. Now, we got to get to the Hamptons, and the thing's like an afternoon event. So we got to get out there, right? So I order a cord of wood. You remember? A pile of wood to get delivered to this kid's house. And they just dump it off somewhere, right? I go to Vanderbilt at 5 o'clock in the morning. Jed rents a big truck for us, like a box truck, because we got to bring all kinds of crap out there. Nick's standing there with a cigarette in his mouth and a box of Coors Light in his hand. Yep. He says, I'm driving. Right? I say, you don't even have a driver's license. I say, you know what? I'll drive there.
That's it. I still don't have a driver's license.
And he still doesn't have a driver's license. So it takes like, an hour and a half to get out there where we're going. Nick drinks about a half of the case of beer. And we get there about 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I text Jed that we're on our way. We're almost there. So Jed comes out of the house. He must have just woke up. He's got a T-shirt on and no shirt. Now, he's a thin guy, but he's not like, like an impressive, like, weightlifter type guy. He's got no shirt on. Nick's hanging out the window of the truck. He goes, "Yo, Jack Diesel."
I embarrassed him. He went like this small, man.
He didn't know what to do. He's like, "Oh, my God, what's it going to be like today?" I said, "Jed, don't worry. We got this." So we get in the truck. We unload the truck. We go to the back. We walk. It's in the woods. It's in the Hamptons, right? In the Pine Barrens.
The Pine Barrens.
Pine Barrens. I go, "Nick, this looks like a good..."
And we're ready to light a fire in the Pine Barrens.
We're going to get to the fire, right? Because first, we got to dig a 10 by 10 hole. Because we got to cook in this hole. So I go, "Nick, I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll get Franklin because there's some dishwasher guys coming out to meet us." He goes, "I don't give a F. I'll dig it till my hands bleed." I go, "You sure?" He goes, "Give me the shovel." We have one shovel.
Yep.
I throw him the shovel. I put the case of beer down, or half a case of beer by now. I go in the house to talk to Jed and Beverly, and we're doing something. I get sidetracked. I come outside. He's standing in the bottom of a 10-foot hole. Beer's gone. Cigarette's gone. Hole's empty. Yep. No dirt left in the hole. We put a cord of wood into this hole, cover it in gasoline, and we light it on fire. I do not know how the Pine Barrens didn't burn down that day.
I'm telling you, I would have thought we were taking that down. We're like, whoa, it's getting out of control a little bit, man.
The gods, the Big Brothers gods, must have been watching over Jed. He has a lot of good karma. Yep. He's a very good person. So thank God his karma helped us out.
He was a little scared, but when it
was ugly. Yeah. I thought the trees were going to catch on fire. It must have been a wet year. Yeah. We had a lot of rain.
Thank God it worked out.
It did work out. We burned it up. We got the embers. We filled the thing full of striped bass and lobsters and clams and all beautiful things. We covered it up in seaweed and a blue tarp, and we left it there for like 3-4 hours.
That's right.
It was a memorable day, and it was where I really understood that Nick was a hardcore chef, a dedicated guy, and a listener. Because in my business, there's not a lot of guys that have all of that. A lot of guys have talent. A lot of guys are very, very good with their hands and can cook really well. But Nick, you were a great listener and you were a great sous chef, and we went on to do a lot of really cool things there.
Oh, the Vanderbilt days were great. I mean, it honed in, what I did. I mean, we were cutting edge. We saw, ingredients, and we took chances. We weren't afraid to fail, man. And it was, that's kind of what I go by a lot. We weren't afraid to fail back then, man. And most times we didn't. We knew how to get out of it, and we really those were some fun days, man. Those were fun days, man.
We squandered that.
Yeah, exactly, man. And if we
squandered that
opportunity, we thought we failed, we didn't. We made it better.
It was good. Jed didn't have a budget. You told us to just do whatever you had to do to make it right, to make it different.
Yeah, imagine those, hey, telling a chef no budget, go off.
It was ugly. He probably regrets it by now.
Yeah, I'm sure, but
he probably regrets it. What is one of your favorite memories of the Vanderbilt? We're just gonna go quickly with that. I mean,
oh my God.
What is something that really sticks out?
I would think a lot of those concerts. Definitely. I mean, I know you talked about the Hellraiser Ball.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great one. I mean, the concerts probably. I think one of the 9 Days concerts when Johnny C needed some assistance on the stage.
What about when the kid wrecked the toilet? Was it from 9 Days?
That was the same concert. If
Harlan was here, he'd tell us. It was 9 days?
Yeah, when they kicked the toilet. Yep.
They broke the toilet, so I broke the guitar.
Yep. We broke
over
the guitar.
A kid's head.
Yep. That was my buddy Frank Montanelli too. So I started working with Frank Montanelli at the Vanderbilt. He was part of a group that kind of toured and stuff, and he was at that concert backstage. And I remember him telling me he's like, "Oh my God, there's 2 crazy chefs out there." His manager's like, "Everybody get into the room. They're beating people up, or they
It was
they
us.
go through. It was us, yeah."
It was us.
I'm like, "That was us, man. We're taking care of house business."
Well, the Sopranos was in its heyday back then, and everybody was watching it every week. And it was that kind of atmosphere. It was a nightclub, you know what I mean? And we thought we were like the Sopranos. We thought we were pulling walnuts.
Absolutely. It's like if you stepped out of line,
you got hurt
in our house.
Smacked.
Yeah, you got dealt with. You know what I mean?
I remember this dishwasher was getting all angry at us one day, right? He got him angry, and Nick gave him a smack. And then he said, "I'm going to call the police." I was like, "You're going to call the police?" I was like, "They might take you away."
Yeah.
He thought twice about it. He said, "Yeah, maybe I'm not going to call the police."
Yeah.
He thought twice about that.
Yeah, the dishwasher stepped in line over there too, man. They knew their business.
We had a really solid crew. You know what I mean? Listen, I think like when you make a fun place to work, when you got something exciting, and I think I don't know about you, but I've always been lucky to get into something exciting, whether it's a concert business, catering business, breweries. You know what I mean? There's always like fun stuff. So like my career has been beneficial. I'm lucky, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, I mean that time that I spent at the Vanderbilt, I mean, kind of shaped my career to what I do today. Events and being able to think on your feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now let's mark on that because like as we grow. I mean, again, we haven't worked together in over 10 years.
Yeah.
And obviously we keep in touch and we hear things, and and again, you hear from other people, you other colleagues. And the one thing that always surprises me about Nick is like, and again, I've been on and on talking about what a tough guy he is, and but numbers and budgets. I mean, from what I know of you now, that seems to be what your strong points are right now. And tell us a little bit about what you're doing now. I mean, we'll get to Husk, and obviously you own a restaurant, and it's super successful in what it does. But you're also a corporate chef for a big country club company, and it's not even country clubs here in New York, right?
No, so I work for I'm a corporate chef for a company called Arcus Golf. They have 75 properties in 11 different states. So I'm part of their executive task force chef. So when they buy properties or they do their due diligence to buy a property, I'm part of that executive team that goes in, reconcepts, puts performers and budgets together.
Now, sorry, when you say due diligence, do you mean that they bring in this team of chefs before they buy the place and want to make sure, like, before they sign the contract, that things are going to be, like, the kitchen is right or the whole, the floor plan is right? Like, what do you mean by, like, in the beginning, like, before the contract is signed?
Yeah, before the contract signs, they'll go in with a corporate team to dig through the financials of, what the club is currently doing. We'll spend time there with, under the old ownership, to make sure that everything is in line with what they're talking about with their budgets and as far as the purchase goes, check inventories, stuff like that.
So have you ever been in a situation where you went in there and been like, you know what, this isn't right for us?
I mean, I'm not the ultimate decision maker.
Have you seen it happen?
Yeah,
a group of people would say this is not a club for us.
Oh, they're in clubs all the time looking, and
it turns out, we're not going to take this club.
Absolutely.
What would happen to like again, here in New York, I could see country clubs they seem to be dying out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that private member,
private membership
equity
club.
owned membership club.
Outside of New York, that's not the model, right? They're more like owned by companies like yourself.
Corporations. I mean, you do obviously still have your high-end country clubs in places, but
like Bushwood.
Yeah, today's model, is a little.
You'll never be a member here.
Exactly.
Ted Knight,
those days are dying, man.
They're gone now. So when you take over a club, is it usually where it's a member-driven club at that point?
99% of the clubs that we buy were equity-owned clubs that ran themselves into the ground.
So you say equity-owned club. What do you mean?
Owned by the membership.
Owned by membership.
Yeah, where the membership owns the equity of it.
And now, do you feel like it's hard to make that to okay, so do you want to keep a staff when you take over a club?
Ultimately, in today's world, yeah. I mean, you want to keep a staff. I mean, there's problems all over the country, with getting staff.
Staffing is a thing. Maybe we could get into that. We don't want to talk bad today.
No, not today.
Not bad. We're all positive. We're good people to work for.
I can rant on. Yeah, I can rant on.
We're good guys. Everybody wants to work for us.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Think about that. But is it difficult to take a guy that worked from an equity-owned club and put him into a club that now has to be a profit-making club?
Yeah, I mean, it can be difficult. We're going through some challenges right now. So I'm in the Ohio region right now. We just took over 3 equity clubs within the past 6 months.
Now, Ohio is a big place. Are you in cities in Ohio, like near Ohio State College, something like that?
Yeah, so we're Columbus. We have 2 in Columbus, 2 in Cincinnati, and 2 in Cleveland.
Wow.
So that's where I've been focusing a lot of my time for the past 3 months has been.
I was in Cleveland recently.
Beautiful.
They have what is that area where they have all the food stalls? It was like a marketplace, kind of like Chelsea.
Downtown Cleveland.
In downtown Cleveland.
Yeah. It's like on the riverfront right there.
Yeah, my niece, she went to
called
medical school.
Flatlands or
Flatlands.
Yeah, the Flatlands.
And it was hot. They had a 24-hour donut shop.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
They had like a donut shop where you could buy beer.
Yeah, absolutely, beautiful.
I was into that. I like donuts.
Yeah, I know, I do. I'm not the sweet guy.
You don't eat sweets.
No, I don't eat sweets.
You're a cigarette guy.
I don't drink coffee. I don't eat sweets.
You still don't drink coffee?
No.
Never?
Never.
Wow, it's wild. But what about in the morning? Soda?
No, not even soda.
You don't care. Sopranos.
I light up a cigarette and a glass of water.
You don't light up a cigarette; they come out lit.
Come out lit.
We
Yeah.
already said that.
Yeah, I'm trying to quit, but
It would probably be a good idea. Every time somebody dies, they say it was because he smoked.
yeah, I'll be there.
But nah, maybe not.
Maybe
you might
not.
be too.
Who
You
knows?
might be too bad to die.
You never know.
Too evil to die.
Too evil. I'm a bad man.
The devil's afraid of you.
Yeah, I'm a bad
The devil's
man.
afraid of you. So let's get back to going across the country. Half your. I mean, you told me yesterday because we were hanging out yesterday at an
Yep.
ACF meeting at American Culinary Federation.
Yes, sir.
And you told me that you were home twice a month.
So I'm on the road 20 days, and then I come home for 4. And
Right.
then I'm back on the road for 20, home for 4. You know, sometimes it's an extra day. It all depends. Today I came in yesterday and today to do, to come in and
Come in for your boy.
come in for your boy. You asked me for a favor.
Go crying to walk.
I wanted to be part of the show.
Yeah.
I've seen all the other guys on the show.
It wasn't fair, right?
Yeah, it's not fair. I'm like,
I had to get my chops ready.
where's
for
Nicky
Nick.
Balls, man?
Yeah, I couldn't. I had to practice.
Yeah,
a
where's
little
the
bit.
stories?
I
We
had
got
to
some
practice
stories to
a little
tell.
bit.
Getting thrown over cars with,
Best
the
story
police.
ever. You ready?
Yeah.
Best story ever. So Nick comes to work late one day, and he says, which never happened, and he says, "Oh my God, something really bad happened at Home Depot." I'm like, "What do you mean? What happened at Home Depot?" He says, "Well, me and Jen, Jen's Nick's ex-wife." He says, "Me and Jen, we went to Home Depot, and you're walking around, and sometimes you see a cart, an empty cart, so Jen grabbed the cart, we were like shopping, I'm like looking at locks, I'm looking at things, I gotta get a lock, buy a lock, right?" And some guy's like, "Hey, that's my cart," he doesn't see that you're with Jen,
Yeah.
he sees it's just a woman in his cart, and Jen's like,
Called
Jen-
her a,
Jen's like,
CUNT,
yeah, see you next Tuesday, he says, because Jen's like, Nick, told the guy to go F himself, it was her cart. So Nick just happened to have the lock that he was buying in his hand, and next thing you know, the guy's sleeping. He's taking a nap on the floor of the Home Depot. And then next thing you know, Nick's picture's on the wall at Home Depot. He's not allowed in Home Depot. Thank God Lowe's came to town. Thank God Lowe's. That's one of my favorite stories, because it just goes to show you, nonsense. Nonsense. And when it happens, anybody messes with Mrs. Travato, it was a problem.
Yeah. Well, that was back in the day. Now I'm too old. I'm too old to throw things like that, man.
Yeah, so now now you're not going to throw punches. Well, yeah, when you have a lock in your hand,
You never
it's
know.
beneficial.
I could still throw it.
beneficial.
Yeah.
So, what's the coolest city you've been in the last 6 months? That's what I want to know. Like you're all over the country. I mean, obviously Ohio can't be the coolest place.
No. I mean,
Did you say you were in Napa Valley just
yeah, I was just in
recently?
Napa Valley. Yeah, we got clubs up in Northern California, everywhere from north of LA. So we have a club up in like the Napa Valley area.
What's it like in California right now? Like as far as the price is wicked out there.
Wicked expensive.
Wicked.
Yeah, you got to pay. You're talking. We're paying dishwashers $23-24 an hour, line cooks from 30 to 32, executive chefs 140 to 160.
I think I might move to California.
Yeah, man. I was going to take the job out there, but it's so expensive to be out there. And
To live there.
I'm not the California guy, man.
I tell you,
Yeah, I'm not a California fan.
My wife grew up in the valley, Agora and different places, and we used to visit a lot when her brother still lived there and her dad was alive. God rest his soul. And I swear to God, I used to hand out resumes all the time, man. But it was the 80s. It was a different time, and for me, it was like. Growing up on Long Island, it was always like, okay, we're going to go to the beach, and so to go to the beach, you have to go over a bridge, and you have to pay a toll, and you have to then wait in a line to park, and it was always like a thing. It took you an hour to get to the beach, whereas you live in California, you just pull your car over on the side of the road, and you just go to the beach. You know what I mean? There's parking lots everywhere, and it's just like leisure driven. I remember we went to Venice Beach, which now is a toilet, but...
all the California, the whole state's almost just about a toilet.
There's encampments everywhere.
It's just, you drive, you go into like Oakland. There's just tents and tents and tents, like.
So that's
cities.
just not on Instagram, right? This is happening.
No, it's all over California. It's just tents and tents.
I don't get it, man.
The cops don't even go in there. You can, back in the day, people would go in there and probably not survive. I mean, it's disgusting in there.
It's wicked.
Yeah, it's wicked. You see people just
Venice
walking the street.
Beach used to be the coolest. I tell you, first time I went to Venice Beach, I get there and we were rollerblading. I don't know if that's queer, but we were rollerblading.
Yeah, it's not that queer.
And we're right around. Chris Penn, Sean Penn's brother, is like he's shadow boxing, and just jogging with his sweatsuit. I'm like, that's Chris Penn.
Yeah.
And then later in the day, Wesley Snipes is on rollerblades. And he's just rollerblade. I'm like, that's
Obviously, it's
Wesley
not queer.
Snipes.
Then. Yeah, it's not gay.
It wasn't. It
No.
wasn't.
You catch
I
up
don't even
with
know
them.
if I'm allowed to say that anymore. But anyway,
Yeah,
Jed
you
will
can say
probably be
anything.
mad at me.
Yeah,
He'll
you
yell
can say
at me.
anything.
He'll yell at me.
I'm sure.
And then the topper, and this is before Danny Trio was like, El Machete, and before, he was in just like wicked gang movies or, cholo style movies. And Danny Trio is sitting there in Muscle Beach. He's working out. He's the guy with the big, the lady with the sombrero.
Of course.
I had to go home. I saw OJ. This is before.
Really?
I just did that again. I saw OJ in a club the first night we were there. 17 women around him. It was insane.
Wow.
And I feel like it's not like that out there anymore.
I mean, one of my least favorite states to go to, and unfortunately, I have 4 clubs that I oversee in California. Just not.
Is it all Northern California or all through LA?
LA up to San Francisco.
Okay.
So
Northern California,
yeah,
Central to Northern California.
It's one of my least favorite places to go. I do like that. Dallas is a great area.
I hear Dallas is awesome.
Yeah, it's it's beautiful, man.
We have some friends from there, me and Jenna, and they.
It's clean.
They have everything that New York has.
Everything.
I heard every hot New York restaurant is in Dallas.
Yep.
And then you're a half an hour, 40 minutes away from Austin, which is an amazing place.
Yep.
And then San Antonio.
Yeah, it's a red state.
It's a red state. It's hot down there, bro.
It is hot.
It's real hot.
Yeah, it is
Your
hot.
boy's not good in the heat.
Yeah, no, it's
like
hot.
right now, it's really cool in here.
Yeah.
Last time I was doing a podcast, I was sweating like a murderer.
Yo, it's nice and cool in here now. That's for sure.
Yeah. So let's get into a little bit about Husk. And Husk is in St. James, and it's a restaurant that I frequent. And I've been there. My friends have had some parties there, and it's a very inventive place, and there's always something new happening. So tell me about where you're at. I mean, obviously, we're at a new time right now. So what are you doing at Husk now to try and maneuver yourself? $70 a case potatoes.
Yeah,
what are you doing over there to make people still excited about going out to eat? Because to be honest with you, as a chef and as a guy that needs people to go out to eat,
yep.
I'm pretty disappointed when I go out to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it was the cost or the lack of service in restaurants nowadays, the experience is not there. I feel like if you downplay the experience and you're a place where you don't have those expectations, sometimes it's a better thing. Do you feel like being like it's a cool bar spot and it's got music playing that people have different expectations or?
Yeah, I mean, we opened back in 2018, and our main concept was to ever change. Would change, and we would change the menus all the time.
I noticed that. Yeah.
So every week we would change the menus. We had a great staff there. Obviously, I'm not there on a day-to-day anymore.
Right.
I still help out Maria Nodelman, which is the primary owner.
Awesome chick, Maria.
Awesome girl, very talented.
Yeah, very talented.
We have I had a chef de cuisine there in Francesco Lacera, which he's still there now. So he moved up. I'm on a daily weekly calls with them.
What about Big Will? No more?
Big Will, no,
Big
he's
Will's
not there
out.
anymore. Yeah, I mean, right now we're on a,
Big Will looked like Action Bronson.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's doing well. He's over a place in Babylon now. He
must be a big
left over
kitchen.
there. Yeah, it's a big kitchen. No, it's a small little kitchen, but he's doing well. He moves like a cat. That guy. You know
He's
what I mean?
slick. Yeah, he's slick.
He's slick.
Yeah.
He moves like a cat.
He's
Talented
slick.
guy as well. We, but right now it's still the same thing. We shrunk down the menus a little bit. Francesco's doing a great job with the staff over there. And it's still that change, and we shrunk some things down because can't find staff. I mean, they're hard to find, man.
It's tough.
I'm hoping that things break a little bit. Coming up when the landscaping season comes to an end, and these guys that kind of cook over the winter. And
Yeah.
You got some talented guys.
But then you got to win them because then come March,
Absolutely.
come May.
That's right now goes into the season right now. Middle of Long Island, St. James. That's the season right now. So
this is your season. Summer
now
is not where it's hot for. I mean, you do. I'm sure
miss
you do
that.
good
Yeah,
all
we do
year
great.
round.
Yeah, but
you
now
know
it's
what I mean?
now it's the weekends and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, balls to the wall, busy.
Do you rely on big groups and catering over there, or no? That's not like what you'd want to do.
We
with
do
that
some
restaurant.
catering, in Husk, but we also have the contract to the Elks Lodge over in the Blue Blinds Mansion, which is killing it right now. I mean,
Big Vinny had his wife's birthday there, Lori's birthday there. It was awesome.
Yeah, there's this jamming over there right now. So the larger venue.
Yeah, I mean, I drive. That's my route home.
Yeah,
I
you
take Edgewood
told me you were
home.
passing it yesterday.
I pass it every day.
Yeah, yeah.
I pass it every
Yeah.
day. One time I took a pee behind the building.
Yeah, right on. That's probably where a lot of people stop.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah, but business is just different now. It's trying to stay and what it's like. Trying to order things, can't get things certain times.
Oh my God.
So it was good for us. We were already into that. Changing the menus all the time and weekly. So the hit with that. Prices of food coming down a little bit now. It got a little crazy.
It's weird how things work. Like like I said a minute ago, potatoes are $70 a box, but now lobster is coming in line, and beef is actually coming in line again. But you can't find turkey.
No, I know.
Is there a bird flu or something happening?
know.
Was there a bird flu a couple months ago? The guy told me, I can't get the sweetheart turkey breast. I can't get the boneless. I said, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
These are things
Some
that
things I can't get.
These are things that I've never seen not available.
Yeah, I know. It's
Very
strange. It's a
strange.
strange world right now, but
Very strange.
looks like it's coming out of it a little bit. But restaurants are busy, man. I'll tell you that. They are.
They are busy,
they're
right?
Busy. Oh, they're busy. Yeah.
I tried to go out a couple Friday nights ago. I live in Setauket, so I would try to go out and Port Jeff. And the first three places, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I went online to try and make some reservations. I couldn't get a reservation until 9:30, and the first three places that I wanted to go to.
Yeah, go to Husk. Can't get into Husk on Thursday, Friday, Saturday night.
Packed.
Yeah, it's packed. Yeah.
Packed.
Yeah, and even during the week, it's busy. But
You do lunch over there?
no, not just we did. Not
Lunch
yet.
is hard. It's not a lunch area,
Yeah,
right?
it's just now I'm working the guys 18 hours, 15 hour days.
Yeah. Well, that's what I hear a lot too. Like I just heard a story about another restaurant. They're like, we're on the beach and we wanted to open up for lunch, but we just couldn't get a second staff hire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It's tough,
man.
but
That's a
hopefully that
shame.
comes out.
But I think people use those excuses, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't have a lot of hard time getting staff. I mean, I can train somebody that just has a heart, that just wants to work.
Yep.
Whereas that in your situation, you have to have more skill.
Yeah, I need a skill.
You need heart and skill.
Talent, talented menu development guys. I need trained guys. I mean, Francesco does a great job over there right now, but always can use more guys. So if anybody knows, come on down.
Anybody needs a job.
Everybody needs a job. I'm hiring down there.
We're always hiring.
Absolutely.
If some guy comes to Crest Hollow, I don't care when it is, I don't care, I'll always hire him.
Yeah.
And I'll see what happens.
Yep.
Because what can happen? You turn around and you say no to that guy, and then one of the girls tells me she's pregnant, or somebody can't hang, or their cousin, they got to go back home, or whatever. And then I'm like, where is that guy? That guy already got a job.
Yep.
That guy left his house that morning.
To build the bench, man. You got to build a little bench.
You got to have a bench.
Yeah, you got to have a bench, man. Especially today.
The Mets got no relief pitching. They got no. I know you're not a Mets fan.
I'm not a Met fan.
Yankees don't.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll meet each other in
You
October.
never know, man.
That'll be ugly.
Yeah, that'll be real ugly.
We're going to watch every Subway Series game if it happens at Husk.
You got it,
Except
man.
you won't be here.
I'll fly in for it.
You'll fly in just for that?
Yeah, man. I get to come and go.
Nick, you into Instagram, shit like that? You down with that?
Not really, man. No.
Do you understand the importance of it?
I do it for business.
For business.
I get the
so who
business
handles
Instagrams.
that for you?
We have an outside company that she
an
does it.
outside company. So you don't have like one of the young staff just sitting around saying, that burger looks awesome, let me do it?
They put it on their own Instagrams.
Would be a good idea,
The Husk and Mine
maybe.
Instagram is ran by a company.
By a professional company.
Yeah. They come in twice a week, take pictures.
What about TikTok? What about watermelon popcorn?
Watermelon popcorn. I saw it on TikTok.
See?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you try it?
I did not try it.
I tried it.
Is it
Comes
good?
out pink.
Does it?
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I see.
I almost said another bad word.
I'm not big into the social media things. Other than the business on end of it does. I mean, I got Facebook.
Facebook's
stuff like
no
that.
good, man.
Yeah.
Facebook's no good. It's all advertising. TikTok is where it's at.
Yeah.
Even for food. And you know what? It's not even that TikTok is where it's at. The style that TikTok offered, which is this Reels.
Yeah.
Which is, again, if you don't make a Reel, you're not getting on Instagram either.
Right.
So that's something to think about. But
I know at Husk they do it. The girls, the wait staff, they do
yours is good. I see
They do
your
the
thing.
TikTok video of the day and stuff like that.
TikTok
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
TikTok reminds me when I'm down on TikTok. Like if I have a bad day, if I actually have to, if I'm working a long day and I don't have the time to sit there, I'm not in the bathroom that much.
Right.
Because that's really what I do in the bathroom. I wonder what people do in the bathroom without a phone. I guess it was a magazine back in the days, but they don't have magazines in bathrooms.
No. You go with your phone now.
If I go to the bathroom and I forget my phone, it's a big problem. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Screaming out, someone bring me the phone.
Well, I wish. It's like, Ma!
Yeah.
Ma, bring the paper!
Bring the toilet paper.
Ma, wipe me!
Yeah.
Like a 2-year-old. That's really weird. So, your youngest son is still in high school or no, he's out?
No, he's graduated, yeah.
He graduated.
Yeah.
All your kids are out. It's
All
great
out.
having an empty nest, right?
Yeah, that's why, kind of the travel to me now is good. My daughter's, 26.
She's a policeman, huh?
Yeah, MTA cop, yeah.
Policeman.
Unbelievable.
Wild.
Carrying a gun and a badge.
Nicky Bull's his oldest daughter's on the other side of the law. That's what they say in most guys. You could either be a cop or a gangster.
Yeah, exactly.
You say that about a lot of guys.
Remember at the Vanderbilt, I had you get thrown over the car.
We tell that story?
Yeah, you could tell it.
You
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that leads into an even cooler story.
Yeah,
how Nick is really the coolest guy I ever met. So everybody's got troubles in life, you know what I mean? So one day we're out. We used to take our daily, go smoke a joint run in my Mercedes Benz
Yeah.
that they gave me at the Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And we were coming back from our spot. And I whip around the building, and all of a sudden, this plainclothes car, cuts us off. These guys jump out of the car. They grab Nicky out of the car. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, we're taking him. Like, where are you taking him? Never mind. I go, listen, the guy's wife's going to call.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. So whatever, things happen. Nick has to go spend a little time in college for a little while. And I have these letters, and I'm not going to lie. You wrote me letters when you were there. It was like summer camp letters. There was never a bad story. There was never like, oh, my God, Chris, this is horrible. Yeah. I got to get out of here. No, it was all cool stuff. Then he comes home, he's like, yeah, and you're a smart guy. This is why I love you, man. He's like, yeah, all the COs, they're talking about hunting all the time. They hunt, they this, they that. So I tell them, you guys ever bring in that deer meat, I'll help you cut it up and cook it.
Yeah.
You said the rest of your time there, every weekend you were in the CO hut cooking.
Yeah, cooking for them, yeah. It was...
There's always good times to be had. Brother, I'm so happy that you're on a level now where you are. And again, as a guy that was your mentor at one point, or like your leader at one point.
Absolutely. Talk about you often about that position.
I never could be happier to see somebody go on and do the things that you're doing. And a lot of respect, brother.
Right
and,
on, man.
Thank you for coming out today.
I appreciate it, man.
All right.
Always the man, brother. Always the man.
And stop making him cry in the walk-in. All right, because that's my thing now.
Yeah, it's always gonna happen, but it's all good.
All right, man. All love. Listen, at the end of the day, you already know, Chef Cholo from the Go Crying to Walk In. Peace.